Hello Libra, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? As I do in all of my readings, I have pulled the overall energy and clarified those messages, as well as the overall theme for the reading, which we'll jump into in just a second, but I still have the tarot deck I'll be using, and then the clarification deck and the advice deck that I'll be using to close out the reading in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. All right. Let's jump on in, Libra. In your recent past, you have the Tower with stay in integrity. The Tower card is this feeling as if something is falling apart. Now, to me, the Tower can also be like the crumbling of an illusion. Truths coming to light, or something being revealed to you where it's like, oh, that's not what I thought it was, or that's not who I thought that person was. So the Tower, I feel like, is kind of like, it feels like your reality is falling apart in a way. But with this stay in integrity card, I feel like this is that reminder to remember who you are, what you deserve, what you're capable of, and don't let, the crumbling of an illusion determine, like your peace in a way, or like, how do I say this? Like, don't let it take your power, I think is really what this is talking about, because then in your current energy, you have a void drama with the Seven of Wands. Like, this is very much protect your peace kind of energy. Protect your peace at all costs. If the universe is revealing things to you about someone or something, make sure you're setting boundaries, make sure you're standing up for yourself, because I think that is what ultimately is going to carry you forward. There are periods of our life where we kind of go through what I call like a great reckoning, and it just kind of feels like we're losing people, or situations feel like they're falling apart, and a lot of times it can seem like our life is falling apart, but what it really is it's clearing out energy that isn't serving us, or energy that is blocking us, to make room for what is really meant for us. And as long as we stand in our power, stand in our truth, we can typically create better for ourselves, which I feel is what this is saying, because in your immediate future, you have meant to be with the Temperance card. So the Temperance is very much about being patient, but also being picky. Now, I talk about being picky, I don't mean like being picky in the sense of being like materialistic or selfish, okay? That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, be picky when it comes to how you deserve to be treated and what kind of energy you deserve in your life. We really do have to learn to get picky with our energy. You have to learn to understand that your energy is a currency, and that what you give your energy into is what you're going to receive back from. And if you're giving into drama and people that create drama and stress in your life, you are going to attract more drama and stress into your life. So you have to learn to protect your peace in the sense of being willing to face the consequences of maybe losing people that don't serve you, or losing situations that aren't respecting your boundaries, or whatever the case is, because when we get that way, it only leads us to what is meant for us, to the people that are meant for us, the situations that are meant for us. And, it can feel like, you're being cocky or conceited, or you're super full of yourself when you're not used to, standing up for your worth and what it is that you truly deserve. But it really is the only way to attract what is going to treat you better or respect you in ways that you deserve to be treated and respected. Now, the overall theme of the reading is release And I actually took both cards because they both came out at the same time. And I feel like this is really telling the story, because then you have good fortune. It's almost like the universe is leading you to letting go of certain people, situation, things in your life that are actually blocking you from your good fortune. So again, that's what I kind of feel like some illusion has been shattered. I don't necessarily know if it's about a relationship or a path in general. And I don't really think that's for me to know. I feel like it's for you to, again, take as it resonates. But I do feel like if there's a situation where you're feeling like you're having to let go of a friendship or a relationship or a job, like it's not the universe taking from you as much as it's the universe clearing out your energy to make space for what is really meant for you here. So I don't know, some deep stuff for sure, but that's just the overall energy. So let's dive into the story a little bit more here, Libra. You have stay in integrity with the Tower. This is for Libra's past energy. Let's see if we can get a little bit of clarity on what is going on here. Past energy for Libra. The Hierophant in reverse. Spirit, something happened to awaken you to something. Awaken you, again, to a truth, to a reality. Because the Hierophant in reverse is kind of this need for a new perspective, this need for an awakening. And I feel like this Tower really brought that on. It's like maybe you were seeing things one way, but you really needed to see like the truth or the reality of someone or something. And I feel like that's what happened here. It's like Spirit, something happened to awaken you to something. Now you have this Nine of Swords here. The Nine of Swords represents anxiety, stress, just mentally, like in your head, ruminating thoughts, just kind of being all over the place. And I feel like this is natural when you're kind of going through what this is, with this kind of like what this kind of energy is. So this makes plenty of sense, but I also feel like that's why Spirit has you in this or is pulling this card or showing this card of stay in integrity. It's like stay true to who you are regardless of what's going on around you. Like don't let other people dictate who you are, what you deserve. If someone isn't treating you well, that's not a reflection of your worth, right? Oftentimes, actually, the way that people treat us is a reflection of how much they value themselves, and it doesn't have anything to do with us. So staying in integrity, it feels like staying true to yourself and not letting like people take you down with them in a way. You never want to become what's hurt you, but I don't know. I feel like this has been a pretty transformative period of your life for sure, which seems to kind of be the theme of readings this week, just like transformation and deaths and rebirths. Or not this week, but this round of readings. All right, what else does Libra need to know about this past energy? Whoa, okay. Chariot in reverse, Seven of Cups. I don't know if you expected this. I feel like, and like the biggest thing look at this Seven of Cups. See how he's holding a mask here? I feel like masks came off. Like true colors were revealed or a situation. I don't know. Because this Chariot in reverse to me is like things coming to like a dead stop. You were progressing, things were good, and then all of a sudden masks come off, truth's revealed, and it's just like, brake squealing is what that was. And now I feel like you're trying to maybe make sense, because the Seven of Cups can also represent feeling very confused, feeling overwhelmed, like not really knowing where to go from here, what the next option is, what the right choice is for you. And I feel like, the best thing that I've ever learned is that the best choice is the choice that allows you to love yourself and others simultaneously at the end of the day. If loving someone or having someone in your life causes you to have to not love yourself, well, then that there's, an adjustment that needs to be made. Really making sure, and that's what I feel like is in your current energy. It's just like, you don't need to know. Because a lot of times we try to understand what's happened. Like, why did they do that? Or why is this person? And sometimes psychoanalyzing the other person doesn't really bring us the answers that we seek, right? Intellectualizing isn't always the right path. And so I feel like, I don't know, this is just about making sure that regardless of what's going on around you, regardless of how people are acting, you know what you deserve and what you're capable of. Because the more that spirit will, I remember like when I was very new to my spiritual journey, I started, and I mean, I have a tendency to really go all or nothing. It's the fire sign energy in me. And I started with being like, Spirit revealed to me to like all the changes that I need to make in my life. And it was no joke, like how many truths came out during that period about the path that I was on, the people that I was surrounding myself with, like my closer relationships. And I was just like, oh, whoa, okay. So I got to make some changes. And sometimes, Spirit will reveal deeper truths that maybe we didn't want to face, or maybe we were even unaware of. And it can be really scary because it can feel like we're losing an opportunity to be happy or healthy or loved or safe or whatever the case is. And maybe for a moment we are losing that feeling, but that doesn't mean that you've lost your ability to experience what you want to experience. And that's why I feel like you have meant to be here in your future energy. Is it's like sometimes things do have to be lost, and we have to release people and situations from our life to align with better ones. All right, past energy here for Libra. Nine of Pentacles. Page of Cups in reverse. You really wanted, okay, so at one point, whatever the situation was, it was very much like a wish fulfillment for you. Yeah, there's the Five of Swords. It was very much a wish fulfillment for you. It was something that like maybe even seemed too good to be true, or seemed like, I don't know, or like this is it, or this is what I've been waiting for. And then something happened, and all of a sudden you were like, oh, whoa, okay, maybe it's not, or it isn't what I thought it was. And so I think that especially with this Five of Swords energy, this is kind of this feeling like you can't really trust anyone, feeling like you can't trust the universe, feeling like you can't trust yourself, because again, you thought something was different than it was. But I feel like this isn't necessarily about you not getting what you want, but Spirit protecting you from what couldn't be what you wanted and deserved in the first place. So that's why I feel like in your current energy, this is about, as you move forward, making sure that, again, you are getting in this energy of protecting your peace. Love me well or leave me alone. Treat me right or, leave me alone, because, you are deserving of that. And sometimes it can be hard because we can feel like, well, I'm setting boundaries and people aren't respecting them, and I feel like I'm losing people, or I feel like I'm losing situations, or whatever the case is. But that's only making space, and I feel like that's what this reading is trying to tell you. Current energy for Libra, avoid drama with the Seven of Wands. What does Libra need to know about where they're at right now? Current energy for Libra. Seven of Wands, which is the same Seven of Wands. Then you have the Magician. So I feel like this is kind of clarifying and adding on to what we already talked about, which is protecting your peace, setting your boundaries, standing up for yourself with love, right? Like, I'm not saying walking around going, screw you, I'm deserving of more. Like, that's not necessarily what I mean, but being able to say, look, I know what I bring to the table. I know what my worth is. I know how I deserve to be treated. And I'm not going to accept anything less than that. Spirit is basically saying that is the key to manifesting what is meant for you. And I feel like that is what is missing. not that like, I don't think that you're weak and that you're not standing up for yourself at all, but I do feel like there's a part of you that maybe has been, I don't know if it's necessarily ignoring certain truths about people or just kind of like, oh, that's just how they are. It's like, no, like you have to know your worth and what you're deserving of, and you have to be willing to say, enough is enough. I'm not accepting that. If you aren't capable of treating me like I deserve, then I've got to go. Like, I've got to put my energy into people and things that are, because that means that this situation isn't meant for me. But in order to do that, we really have to be willing to face our fear of lack and loss, right? Sometimes we get so afraid of being alone, or we get so afraid of not having what we need, that we allow something to mistreat us, or we allow something to take advantage of us. And this could be a job, like it could be anything. You know, we allow people or situations to take advantage of us because we think that we need it to survive, or that's as good as it can get for us. And that's natural and normal to think that way, but that's also limiting yourself to a reality that says this is as good as it gets. But what if it could get better? And I feel like that's what Spirit is trying to tell you with this, Seven of Wands and the Magician. This is very much about, knowing your power, standing tall in that power. And maybe you are, and this is just confirmation for you. But I do feel like right now, with this avoid drama, this is very much about distancing yourself from people and situations that take from you and that you pour into but don't pour into you, because that is going to be the only way you are protecting your energy from better things, or from protecting your energy from things that are going to keep you from good fortune, from abundance, from the love that you deserve. Current energy for Libra. What does Libra need to know about their current energy? The Six of Swords and the High Priestess. I'm talking to a Libra that is taking the high road, and I love it, because I feel like what you've been through, it would be really easy to kind of, it'd be easy to, I don't know. I feel like that's why you have to stay in integrity. Like, it would be easy for you to, become what has hurt you, or, try to fall into the mindset of revenge or getting back at something or someone, when in reality, the best thing we can ever do for ourselves is hold our head high and move forward, knowing that how other people treat us is not a reflection of us, it's a reflection of them, and we know we're deserving of more, and we're going to take that, we're going to move forward, and we're going to attract it. Right now is about trying to move, like to move, just in general, move in alignment with the version of yourself, like with the best version of yourself, like whatever that means for you, the version of yourself that knows that you are fully supported by the universe, that knows that there are people out there that will love you and treat you well, that there is a career or a path to financial abundance out there that will not take advantage of you. Moving in alignment with your higher self is truly moving in alignment with faith and with knowing who you are and what you deserve. And I feel like, this is about doing that regardless of the fear of what might happen, which is always, always difficult. Because when we have a fear of like, well, what if things don't work out? Or what if I lose, what if this situation causes me to never be able to experience this kind of love or abundance that this could be, we get stuck in the mindset of believing that what is meant for us will pass us, when in reality it absolutely will not. And I feel like Spirit is revealing certain things to you for a reason, so that you do something about it. I feel like you kind of have a choice here. It's like you either do something about it or you don't, but doing something about it will lead you to where you're meant to be. All right, what else does Libra need to know about their current energy? I want the card to flip all the way around or hit the table. Okay, like that. The Fool, Ace of Wands. Well, hang on, let me clarify this. I think I know what it's saying, but I just want to, because this is talking about receiving what you deserve, because you've obviously received what you didn't deserve, right? Right. Oh, I know what okay. Yeah. Okay, sorry. You know, the universe provides exactly as we affirm. And when we hold on to people and situations in our life that don't treat us well, that don't make us feel good, you know, about ourselves, about our life, we are basically sending out the signal to the universe that says, this is all that's possible for me. This is all I deserve. This is all I want. And the universe is like, okay, here you go. Here's more of the same. In order for us to create more, to create better in our life, we have to consciously make the decision to decide that we are done accepting less. I've always said that creating the life of your dreams, including the relationships of your dreams, includes 2 steps. It's super simple, 2 steps. Decide what it is that you want and say no to anything that isn't that. Now, obviously, yes, simple in theory, hard in practice. But right now is a time of being willing to let go of what doesn't reciprocate you. We get so used to pour, especially if you consider yourself an empath, or, you know, it's just kind of been how you've been raised. Like, you can get so used to pouring your heart and soul into people, into situations, into your job, whatever the case is, and getting very used to accepting bare minimum and thinking that that's enough. And sometimes we don't realize that we're accepting less than what we deserve because we don't even realize that more is possible. So when that's the case, because the universe will never let you settle in what is less than what you deserve, the universe will throw towers your way to get you to move, to get you to see, so that you can make decisions that align with wanting and desiring more for yourself. That is what is happening right here. Spirit is showing you what needs to be released from your life so that you can open up to what can be gained. The hard part is you have to be willing to let go. You have to be willing to let go. And that is the hardest part when it comes to really anything about a spiritual journey, because that requires you to have faith that Spirit will always provide. The universe will always provide. As long as you are willing to move in faith. So right now is definitely a period of, and I kind of talked about this in the overall energy, but getting really picky about what who you allow into your energy, what you pour into, and making sure that you are only pouring into people that are pouring into you, or pouring into situations that are reciprocating you. Because if you are giving out all of this energy and not receiving anything back, like let's say you have an energy cup, right? This is as much energy as you can hold. And from this energy cup, you give, and then you receive into this energy cup, right? But what you give into is what you receive. So say you're giving 80% into something, into people, into situations, but you're only getting 50% back, right? So you give, you're receiving not so much. Your energy cup is going to slowly drain until you get to a point where you say, I've got nothing left to give. I can't give anything to my job. I can't give anything to my spouse. I can't give anything to my kids. I can't give. I'm dry. I'm empty. And that's when, you have to kind of take a look at things. So when you're dealing with situations that aren't reciprocating you, the best thing you can do is make sure that you are showing up in a way that is best for you. And that is not a selfish thing to do, because the more that your cup is filled, the more you are going to be able to give. If your cup is not filled and it is empty, you can't show up for anyone or anything, including yourself. So filling your cup first, showing up for you first, protecting your peace, getting picky about where you give your energy, not because you think you're better than everyone else, and not because you think that, you're, I don't know. What I'm trying to get at is just not coming from a place of ego, but coming from a place of, I know my worth, I know my value, and I know what I bring to the table, and I know that I'm deserving of the same. And when you can come from that place, you create situations and relationships that align with that. Libra's done getting drained. All right, what does Libra need to know moving forward? I feel like Spirit really needs you to know That Spirit is revealing something to you for a reason. What does Libra need to know moving forward? Okay, goodness. Card came out. Magician. Six of Cups, and there's the Empress. Oof, I love this. Libra standing in their power. You know, this future, I look at the future energy. This really, to me, the way that I've always understood it and the way that I am trying to portray it is this is like, what can you expect should you move in alignment with your higher self? Like what, you know, if you choose yourself and you set your boundaries and you stand up for what you deserve and you take the risks associated with that, what can you expect? And Spirit's saying you can expect to attract all the things that you've been desiring, but that you haven't been able to experience because you've been accepting less. Because this Empress, to me, is a very, I mean, it's obviously Libra energy, right? So this is you showing up in your own reading. But aside from that, this is very much like pouring into yourself, taking care of your emotional needs, putting yourself first, and not being ashamed of that. You know, the Six of Cups is, to me, a representation of what you're used to. And what you're used to, I feel like, is lack and people not treating you well and being taken advantage of, whether it's your time, your energy, whatever the case is. And that is not, nor has it ever been, fair to you. You've always been deserving of more. But it's hard to believe you're deserving of more when you're used to getting treated a certain way. And that's why it's hard to break out of the energy of attracting the same old same when it comes to relationships or your finances or whatever the case is, because you've been taught that that's as good as it gets. That's what you're used to. So this isn't just about, standing in your power and blah, blah, blah. It's about doing it more than you ever have before. It's about choosing to believe in yourself more than you ever have, choosing to believe in what you're worth more than you ever have, because that's what's going to attract better into your life. That's what's going to open you up to what is meant to be, to what is meant for you, to the good fortune, right? We have release and good fortune. Release what doesn't serve you, open up room for what does, which is not easy. It's not easy. None of this is easy. All right, what does Libra need to know moving forward? So we're getting picky, Libra. Leaving behind your comfort zone. That's what this tower, yep. Oh my gosh, that's what this tower is pushing you to do, right? We have the tower back here, tower right here, Eight of Cups, Three of Wands. The Eight of Cups to me is like leaving something behind, leaving behind what is comfortable, but what is very obviously just not, like, I don't know, not meant for you, not treating you well, not making you feel the way you deserve to feel. Probably even making you feel the opposite, right? So Spirit's trying to awaken you to a deeper truth to get you to move, right? That's been the whole thing. But the problem is it is outside of your comfort zone, and we hate that. Our human brain, your ego, hates being outside of your comfort zone. It hates being in the unknown. It hates what it can't control and what it can't predict. But the Spirit is saying you have to trust. You have to trust. Take the step out of your comfort zone. Move away from what isn't serving you, and it will only lead you to better, but you have to be willing to do it. That right there. It's up, like, I feel like this is Spirit's way of saying it is up to you. It is up to your willingness to leave behind what isn't serving you, to open up to what can and will. So Spirit's trying to get you to move. All right, one more immediate future for Libra. Get picky, Libra. Whoa, 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 whoa. Queen of Wands, King of Cups, Ten of Cups. Oh my gosh. Embodiment. You know, this King of Cups to me is very much embodying like emotional intelligence to the extent of like, how do I say that? That is a really difficult message. Okay, hang on. because it's not just emotional intelligence. It's like the ability to see through BS is like the best way to say that. And the way that we see through BS is by like trusting yourself and how you feel so much. Like when somebody makes you feel off, when somebody crosses a boundary, when somebody makes you or hurts you or offends you or whatever the case is, and you say, hey, I didn't like that. And someone goes, oh, well, I didn't mean it like that, or you took it the wrong way, or, you know, you're being sensitive or whatever the case is. It's your ability to go, no, I'm not. That made me feel uncomfortable and I would prefer it if you didn't do it again. That's where, and I feel like that's what you're needing to embody here, is this certainty and like assurance in yourself and what you deserve, to the extent that you are not going to be willing to take shit from anyone. Like that's what this feels like, Libra, is getting to this point of saying, I am done putting up with people who try to tell me how I should feel or what I should feel or how I should take the things that they say or what I'm deserving of. You know, it's really getting this point of saying like, I know who I am and what I deserve, and I'm not accepting anything less. And being so unapologetic about that. And almost like don't let that make you feel guilty, because the Queen of Wands to me is very action oriented, but it's action oriented coming from a place of heart, you know. But being able, it's like staying soft, right? Because setting boundaries isn't about hardening your heart. Staying soft and being open to the world, but at the same time not taking shit from anyone. And if you're willing to get to that point and able to get to that point, look, it leads you to the 10 of Cups. It leads you to that emotional fulfillment that you're looking for in your relationships and otherwise. So I don't know. Maybe this is just like the energy you're moving into, or it's a very powerful energy that I feel like you're tapping into. But the best way I can say it is like getting to a point of saying, I am done taking shit from people. Like I'm over it. You know, I think that a lot of times, like for me, I used to say, oh, I'd keep quiet, just because it was easier for me to, you know, I didn't like confrontation, I didn't like conflict, and so I'd just be like, oh, whatever, like, yeah, that's just them, that's how they treat me, it's whatever. But I got to a point where I was like, no, I'm not going to let people talk to me that way, I'm not going to let people, you know, do these things to me. And if they do, it's not that I'm going to try to change that behavior, but I am going to make sure that I distance myself enough to say, you're not going to treat me that way, or you're not going to, you know, do those things to me, because I know that if I continued to give my energy to those people, it was going to block me from the people that would, you know, treat me well. So I hope this makes sense. So this is really about stepping into your power, coming from I feel like that's why this Queen of Wands is important. It's a reminder that it's not about being unkind. It's not about being demanding. It's not about, you know, being cold. It's about staying warm, staying compassionate, staying open, but not taking shit from anyone. And I feel like that's this kind of energy you're moving into, or maybe need to move into, so that you can find the right kind of people and situations in your life. But okay, we are going to hop on over to the extended, Libra. I'm going to dive into these messages a little bit deeper, get a little bit more specific about what's going on, and then bring forth some advice for you for the best way for you to move forward in alignment with your higher self. Thank you so much, Libra, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, Libra, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Libra.